Okay, hopefully the stream is working. Let's see. Alright, well, this is just to test stuff out. My mic is just my laptop mic, so it's not going to capture anything all that great. Got some Belching Beaver peanut butter stout here. And yeah, so the stream is just going to be drawing some stuff in Photoshop. My friend Brian just recently graduated with his PhD. So I'm planning on seeing if I can draw some stuff that reminds me of him as kind of a graduation present. So I'm not the best at drawing. Don't really have any, I wasn't really the type to doodle much in school. I'm also hoping the stream I'm playing right now is actually captured in the audio. So we'll see after the stream goes through. All right, so let's see, so plant. It's gonna be this photo. Yeah, why is this not showing? Well, I guess I'll be figuring this out later. Okay, so alright, let's get this started. So I'll be drawing in Photoshop, and I have a XP pen tablet with me. Alright, well, we'll just get started on start with black to outline some stuff. So yeah, so we work on theoretical and computational chemistry, so that's pretty much just being able to use your computer to be able to do some chemistry. So I guess kind of like the end goal for our work would just be to just be able to model anything related to chemistry without any issues. Like, say you're trying to find a drug or something, right? Instead of having to go through all the trials and tribulations of having to do like physical experiments, the dream would be to be able to just put what you need into a computer and then be able to just get the drug that you want out of it. So you like come back the next day and the drug that you need is already right there for you. Yeah, so kind of the reason why I think I want to start streaming is in order to have something outside of work to do. All my work right now is like theoretical stuff, so it's all just like equations that I put onto pieces of paper and then on a forum for our lab, and yeah, we just discuss things over and over again. And I guess like the uncertainty of just doing theoretical work by itself is a bit more daunting than having like experiments that you can work off of. Because experiments, you actually have some results that you can take a look at. But if you're only working directly on the theory itself, you don't really have a basis for whether or not what you're doing will actually work in the first place. And this thing that I've been working on for almost 3 years now. And it would require some kind of like implementation into a computer to be able to test it out. And yeah, it was just kind of slightly daunting, right? You don't know if the work that you've been doing actually will amount to anything. But yeah, that's, I guess, what PhD's work is, right? One thing that our lab is definitely different from others on, or different from most in the academic sphere, is the fact that we are less concerned about the publish or die mentality, and we mostly want to make sure that like the stuff that we do is exploratory, right? That we end up figuring something out. Doesn't have to be right, but as long as we can help guide other people through stuff that's like related to our current work, then yeah, hopefully it'll accelerate the discovery process. I need a bigger eraser. Okay. Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't have even thought about streaming without having watched Hololive, the VTuber company. So when COVID first hit, I was mostly just staying in my room alone. My roommate, well, one of them went back to his family, so he wasn't here, and then the other one would sometimes go back home to his home country to see his family. So then I would be alone for months on end. And thankfully, things like Trash Taste podcast started, so I was able to at least have some kind of like, well, outside of people like Brian, who I'm drawing this for, it was something outside of, it's kind of like, what do they call it? The like parasocial relationship. But honestly, that parasocial relationship is part of the reason why I was able to get through a lot of loneliness. And then for, I guess, some kind of promotional reason at the time, Maury Calliope had been on there as a guest, right? So she comes on. I have no idea what VTubers are aside from Kizuna Ai. And kind of like the idea of, yeah, I wasn't too into streaming in the first place. I never like was able to keep up with anyone's streams or anything like that on Twitch, because I wasn't like going on Twitch, going out of my way to go on Twitch. So then I saw, oh, anime girl, or like anime character, and someone streaming behind it, and they're actually speaking in English, right? Kizuna was fully, well, mostly Japanese, so I wasn't really able to keep up with her speech. Oh, this is going to be difficult. But then comes Maury Calliope, who's speaking English, and that was kind of like something that I thought I could get behind. Honestly, when I first watched the streams, I was kind of like, yeah, to be honest, it was kind of like what Callie had said about her initial experiences with like idols. It felt kind of cringe, honestly. But there's a lot of things that I didn't like at start, and I think it's mostly because of her music. I think especially that, yeah, I gained a much stronger interest in just checking them out. And now I'm a big fan, so that's been a nice journey. Yeah, I still don't really watch Twitch much despite that. I guess it's just because YouTube is already like an ingrained platform in my daily usage, so it's not that difficult to extend that to... What is this job? Oh my goodness. It's not that hard to extend that to just watching streams, right? Almost losing my train of thought there. Yeah. Alright, so I think I didn't explain what I'm drawing right now. So as a present from one of his mentees in a program that we run within the lab, he received the gift of this kind of a plant thingy. So each of these will have a plant inside them. The roots are growing in here, and then it's not like an arboreum or something where it's self-contained, but the roots are in here, and then the leaves will jut out this way. Yeah, so because I owe a lot to Brian, I wanted to like do something a bit more intensive or something with effort, right? So before coming to the school myself, I was doing my like graduate school visits, and when I was visiting another school, UIUC, Urbana-Champaign, one of the people there that I met, he recommended that I at least take a look at the school. So I did. I didn't really have an interest in it at first. It was like all the other schools I applied to, a reach school. So I really didn't think I was going to get into any of these schools. But thankfully I did, and because I did, and because this is one of the like, the school I'm at now is one of the like higher ranked schools for my field. Off of the person I met at UIUC's recommendation, I thought, okay, well, if that's the case, then yeah, it's probably best to at least give it a chance. I can't just lock myself into a decision that's gonna dictate the rest of my career without actually exploring all the options, right? So then from there, yeah, I reached out to the professors in charge of the recruitment for new grad students, and they set me up with an individual visit because I didn't choose to come during the actual visit times. Flew over here, and the rest becomes history. I was hosted by Brian and a few other members of the lab at the time. A couple of them graduated already. And they took me to an Indian restaurant for dosas, which were really nice. And then they took me hiking at the nearby hill. And after I had visited, the professor, my current advisor, he reached out to me on email and asked if I wanted to try out a summer internship here. I say internship, but like I would still be a student joining the school. It was not necessarily going to be the case that I would join the lab that I'm in now, but it was just to like have a testing period, right? Because we seem to get along, and our mentalities towards research, as well as like the general feeling of our approaches to science, were relatively complementary. So then I came here, and the first thing that happened when I touched down was, yeah, so Brian was gracious enough to pick me up at the airport. And the first thing that we ended up doing was we went to Koko Ichibanya. It's a chain from Japan that sells curry. They're well known for having their curry is just generally pretty dang solid for a chain. And it's not too bad of a choice whenever you're looking for something to eat. Right? Let's see. So this is here. It's probably gonna peek out here. And I was introduced to their spice levels, level 1 through 10. And Brian decided to choose level 10. Now, I don't know if anyone who ends up watching this will know, but the level 10 is bad. It is beyond spicy for most intents and purposes. Like, the spice level that they choose to put it at is past the spice level where it actually like adds to the flavor, right? So if you're an avid watcher of Trash Taste, then you'll have heard Garnt and Connor's like discussion on spiciness in food, where you really do want spice to like add to a flavor, right? Otherwise, what's the point of it being there? It's like a kick to give it a bit of an elevation, almost kind of like salt in a way, but not as integral to like human consumption. But level 10 is way too spicy. I'd eaten a dried ghost pepper for a dance group party for newbies in the dance crew, and I woke up at like 3 a.m. with a stomach ache. This was the exact same experience. I ended up having a hurt stomach, but at the same time, it's like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just got into grad school, just got here, I'm gonna just try stuff out. So I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but I mean, always try something new, right? Just try something new. Okay, let's see. Oh, geez. How am I gonna draw these roots? Man. This is gonna be difficult. I don't know why I chose to make these my target subjects when I don't even really draw at all. Yeah, so I guess that kind of like first level 10 experience is pretty much what knowing Brian has been like. Just level 10 experiences throughout the entire time I've known him. And it's been fun. It's been really fun hanging out with him. And because of COVID, so I had a friend that I made in first year, and he was pretty much my connection to the other students in like classes and stuff. Because otherwise, I don't think anyone would invite me to anything. Apparently, I still don't know for sure. But he dropped out of the program and went back to his hometown to study a master's in a field that is not even the same as what we were studying here. Yeah, good friend. Still reach out to him every once in a while. But through the just general loneliness of that, Brian's been my savior. One of the best friends I've made in my life. One of the most important friends I've made in my life. If not because of his general mentality towards life in general. General mentality, life in general. But also his mentorship, right? He's someone who just has this intrinsic what do they call it? Intrinsic what is the word? Acumen? Intrinsic acumen towards mentorship, built over the times that he's like mentored younger students. And I think because of that, a lot of the stuff that he ended up being able to teach me was partially based on that acumen. And I am so lucky for that. So yeah, it's not like the only thing I learned from him, because there are other members of our lab who have taught me just as important lessons. But Brian's the one who's been like consistently the one who really taught me a different outlook on the grad school experience. Then again, he's never really had struggles mentally, unlike probably I think most grad students would have. He goes through life at his own pace. There's that Japanese saying, like, my pace, right? There's that Japanese? I don't know. Might be another Asian country. But his like my pace mentality is super strong. That lends itself to his positivity. Maybe sometimes a bit too positive. Like, I feel like it would probably like piss some people off, honestly. But not me. Absolutely not me. It's godsend. Yeah. Man, I wish I could draw faster or like better. But that's what this kind of experience is for. Can't get better without practice. Might end up taking some of the, or like following some of those YouTube tutorials on how to draw. Oh, I think that'd probably be more focused on like drawing figures of people rather than inanimate objects. How does this work? So like those figure drawings, right? Oh, okay, so the leaf should come up. So this is the interior, like the top part of the leaf. So it should fold over the side, fold over the sides, and then come down this way. Okay. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be something I'll have to look up tutorials for online. The shading. Because the veins on these leaves are not really prominent, so I can't like do those like charcoal imprints of leaves on paper that we used to do in elementary school. Yeah. Alright, so a couple other things that I'm planning to add to this. If there's a way to like make a Photoshop image bigger, I made an A5 piece of paper size. I'll probably just end up adding to it later. I'll also limit the number of leaves because the actual image that I'm following of his like pseudo arboreum has a lot more leaves than I'm willing to draw. Not that I'm skimping out on it for my great friend Brian, but realistically, I need to get this to him before I end up like having to say bye to him. He's currently looking for stuff to do after having graduated. So we'll see where he ends up. For me, though, I would say my most probable trajectory taking on this PhD would be to stay in academia, but probably not going for like tenureship, because there are some politics that I'm not willing to play. And, well, okay, it's not that I'm not willing to play, it's because I'm being realistic with myself. I'm not the type of person who would be able to handle it properly. I'm relatively good EQ wise, but I think in like an academic setting, there are some things that like there's some eccentricity to your general disposition, or however you might phrase it. Yeah, I'll say disposition that really lends itself to success in the field. Maybe things like being able to really sell yourself and your work as important. I mean, otherwise, who would end up giving you funding, right? Unless you know why your work is important and you can properly convey that, then no one's going to really believe you, right? And funding, that's why we have this like results or die, or publish it or die mentality, because it's just built that way. The industry of academia is built that way, where you have to be able to sell yourself and be able to present your work in a very like sexy way. That's sometimes how people put it, like sexy science, buzzwords, AI, machine learning, or more like altruistic reasons like curing cancer, right? Is that really altruism? I think it's just trying to help, right? Oh, how will this turn out? So I'm gonna try to base my like general layer management on something I watched Yofi from Hololive's Indonesian branch when she did this like coloring contest tutorial for coloring. Where there was this one part where she let us know how many layers she had, and it was a lot more than I thought. Like, if I were to draw it normally, or I say normally, but the one or two times I've drawn before on Photoshop with this tablet, yeah, this tablet is new, so I haven't really tested it out too much. I think she had like 5 layers or something. I was like, yeah, I can't see that. I can't see myself doing that properly at the time, but I'm gonna try it out here. Yeah, it's another thing, like, I'm gonna have to simplify the coloring and shadings because I don't know how to do them properly. So if that's the case, then like some of the colors will have to be filled, and then after that I need to make sure that the fill is such that the rest of what I have to fill in will make it so that I can just like color directly. So like, let's say I filled in here. Oh, I don't know. Oh. Okay, well, clearly something is not closed properly. So like, let's say I fill in this bit, right? And this ends up having to be a darker color than here. I want to make it so that this part, when I color it in, and I color in the rest of it by hand, if I want to do it by hand, that I can just like draw into this area and it'll hide behind the color of the darker part. So like a lighter part here I can just color directly into here, and this part will be a darker color, and the layers will be placed so that I can just color it lightly over here, but it's just hidden behind. I think the layers are like, the background is the foremost layer or something. Oh no, background is the backmost layer. So I'll have to like make this one a darker one and then this one the lighter color to make it go behind. Yeah, but this stream is probably just going to be a bunch of the sketching. And then working from there. I don't know if I'll stream the rest of the drawing, because this again is just to test things out. But what I do plan is eventually being able to draw my own like VTuber avatar and learning how to rig it. And then kind of like, well, it's either I save up enough money to just get someone to draw one for me, or I become good enough over time to just continuously upgrade my own model. I definitely will not ever make it to the point where I can receive like commissions on Fiverr or something. Because, I mean, you have to have a true passion to be able to sit down and draw for that long. Like, if you haven't drawn before, or like, yeah, if you just haven't drawn before, you might see a piece of art and be like, that's good or bad, right? Just based on your aesthetic style. But if you actually end up drawing stuff yourself, holy crap, does it take a lot of work. So now whenever I see art on like a subreddit or Pixiv or Twitter or something, I have so much more respect now that I didn't have before. Especially nice if you have a throwaway on Twitter, in which case, even if your personality is kind of like mine, where you don't really feel like you want to like everything, with a throwaway you can just literally just like every single post. And honestly, how much more work is it, right? If your like can add to someone's happiness, or like helping them feel like their voice is heard, why not? And even better, if you're actively paying attention to what you liked, which at least in terms of like posts in Japanese that I don't know how to read yet, that already have like thousands of likes. I mean, it's just adding a drop to a bucket, but it's still a voice. Now, if it's an artist that I followed for quite a while beforehand, yeah, I definitely want to make sure that I'm reading all those posts, and even if they see that I'm just this faceless avatar, the like, as well as the like intent towards listening to what they're talking about. It feels nice to connect that way. Like on my throwaway, I posted on the Twitter of a old YouTube channel I used to follow a lot more of, and they ended up feeling very great about it. It was really nice. They even retweeted it. And it's nice to be able to connect with people. It's always nice. Not that I do it that much anymore, sadly. Okay, I think this is probably it for the mini arboreum. So there's going to be several more things I want to add. If you've ever seen the like yelling toad meme, they start yelling, but then there's also like this guy. Um, I'll be adding this to the drawing as well. It's that yelling face where he's like, oh my god. This is literally the inside of the mind of Brian. So I'll add that somewhere. I still don't know how exactly I'm going to add it though. I don't want just the severed head floating in the air. I want it to be kind of like a memorabilia piece. So maybe like a acrylic stand or something. So I'm quite sure I muted the audio coming from the laptop in favor of just having the microphone sound. But right now I have Kamishiro Taishi's stream up. So if you don't know who that is, Kamishiro Taishi is a translator. He's a freelance translator from Hong Kong. He used to translate for Coco's channel, Coco from Hololive's channel. And now he streams himself. I joined in to his streams when I saw him collaborating with who? I think it was collaborating with Kason, and probably Pikami. So they were streaming and decided to check him out. I saw that he translates stuff. I'm currently learning Japanese, so I thought it would be nice to follow some more people who do Japanese stuff. And he's a JP to English translator for ones like Black Summoner, Hell Mode. There are a couple of isekai light novels. But one in particular that I joined in on for the first time was it's kind of a long title. It's like they're showing the secret org, but it's the story of apparently like there's this guy who lives in the world where there's no secret organization, so he creates one or something like that. I still haven't caught up on it because I read a lot of manga, but I still need to like catch up on myself. Or yeah, cool guy. But recently he's been having some troubles because he has several deadlines that were coming up very soon, and so starting yesterday he was streaming himself doing his work. So it's kind of like a catch-up stream, right? And framed as a subathon. So he's pretty much streaming 24/7 for a couple weeks so that he can catch up on work. So I have that audio going on most of the time, most of the day. Very quickly became a supporter because cool guy. Yeah. So I'm drawing some bubble tea. I used to be on the East Coast, so I've always called it bubble tea until I came here. And then everyone calls it boba here. Now, I don't really like the sound of just boba by itself, because yeah, I just don't really like it. But I've been kind of conditioned to some of the like West Coast terminology. Yo, actually, I swear I had never heard someone actually use faux show unironically until I visited, or actually when I moved here. Okay, yeah, so this is a matcha cortado. I don't know how I'm gonna get the colors correctly. Yeah, what's weird is though that most of the time when we get boba together, we don't actually get boba in the drink. We just get the drink by itself. Another travesty. Oh shoot. Oh crud. I want this on a separate layer. Okay. Hopefully I can cut and paste this. Right. Yes. Wonderful. Layer 3. Boba. Yes. Wonderful. What contour is this following? What tangent line? This is a quarter of the page. No. Why is it shifting? No. How do I redo? Redo. Shift Control Z. Okay, well, let's just go with that. Oh yeah, I need to like. There we go. I completely forgot what I was talking. Oh, another travesty of most of the places over here is that. So I used to get like Tiran Mincha. It's a Tenren. It's a brand from Taiwan for boba. And I always got the Fengli Lu Cha. It's a honey green tea. But like most places around here don't even have honey green tea on the menu. And I just find that a huge travesty. Okay, and another thing is that, yeah, when I first visited here, I had hosts for both lunch and dinner. The dinner host was Brian, and then the lunch host was someone from another computational lab. He brought me over to this place that had boba as dessert after some ramen. Yeah, they didn't have it. They didn't have honey green tea, and that was sad. That was sad. Okay, so, but on the bright side, it was the first time I had foam, cheese foam on boba. You asked me that a few years ago before I came here. Do you want cheese foam on bubble tea? Hell no. Hell no. Sounds gross. And now it's normal. It's actually kind of similar to if you ever had sushi with cream cheese in it, yeah, or like shin ramen with cheese on it. It's an experience, right? That you kind of have to ease into. or just try it once, and yeah, you'll probably not go back very easily. Where do I want to put this? Okay, so I have two more things that I'm going to add in terms of food. So there's a place near us that has happy hour oysters. It used to be $1, but now it's $1.50. Sad. But there's a really nice picture that I took of the oysters, and I really want to draw at least like a couple of them. And then there's also a Sichuan place that Brian and I usually go to. And they have this dish that we usually order. It's a cold chicken dish. I think it's braised chicken and spicy sauce. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. And it's not too heavy on the huajiao, the Sichuan pepper. Now, if you've had Sichuan pepper before, you can probably tell that, well, hopefully you can tell that sometimes it's kind of floral. Like, the literal name is like flower spice. But other than the numbing part, there's also this like floral component to the flavor profile. And my God, when we first went there and we got this like boiled fish in spicy soup, I could not eat it. I just couldn't eat it. Even the mapo tofu was too much huajiao for me. Way too much. This is probably gonna look like a katsudon or something. So they have this cold chicken with spicy sauce on it. It's much redder than the fish, but the huajiao, the Sichuan pepper that they add is not that bad. The amount. Got a couple scallions in here. Hopefully when I do the actual lines, the line art, I can organize this a bit better. Oh my God, there's so many textures on this chicken. Because it also has the skin, so I'm also not sure how I'm going to be coloring this properly. But either way, Brian's going to have to deal with it. Yeah, I probably would have gotten him a physical present, but I honestly don't know what the guy needs at this point. Might depend on his next venture after grad school. And then I'll probably end up getting another gift for him after that. Okay, a nice big chunk of chicken here. Yes, okay. And then most of the rest is just sauce. Yeah, the sauce is like really red. Really pretty. Really pretty with sesame seeds all interspersed throughout this liquid. Is oil liquid? I think so. Colloid. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably spruce up the actual drawing of this chicken a bit better. Okay, I guess I'll just like draw the. Oh my God, these oysters look so freaking good in this picture. Alright, I guess I'll have like a couple oysters sitting over here. So, one oyster here. Draw the plate properly. Well, I mean, the plate can go underneath the oyster because it could have a shell that's curved. And then there's a second oyster. So this first oyster, oh no, I want to draw it the same way that's pictured in this picture. Save trouble on drawing it. So the first one is going to be kind of facing us. So you got the like base of the oyster here, and then the rest of the oyster shell comes out towards the front, and then we have the ridges, and then it comes up, and it curves around here. Yes. Okay. What's wrong with that? oyster number 1. And then oyster number 2, I'm probably going to have to draw over this bar here. Okay, so the next one is facing towards the right. I'll definitely be drawing, oh wait, the plate, shoot. Maybe if the plate is kind of like coming out here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that should be fine. And this could be over the plate. Yeah, okay. And then I'll probably come out over this. Such a pretty oyster. Oh my goodness, such a pretty oyster. Okay, yeah. Alright, so the plate will be kind of hidden. Should be fine. Oh, I forgot a straw. Just like a straw poking out from the back. Oh, sorry, from the middle. And thankfully, the rest of the drink is opaque enough that you wouldn't see the straw. So I don't have to draw it in there. Alright. So now, yeah, I guess the rest is just the guy in the back. Just draw a circle in the back for now. Yelling. 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 Okay. Oh, wait, what if he was the sun? Oh, yes. Okay, but I need to make the picture bigger. Or, no, I'll just draw part of him. So they'll have one eye here. One eye is kind of like a chocolate chip poking out of a cookie. So kind of perspective-wise, like flattened in a way. And then I have the GIF playing right now, and I have no idea how I'm going to be drawing this to. Well, okay. Like if I could get like a Harry Potter world like moving picture, like not a video, but like an actual moving picture, that would be nice. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll have like a shadow or after image. I don't know how to draw those yet, so I'll just go with that. And then symmetrical here. Thankfully, the eyes don't have much detail to them, so I can probably get away with some liberties, creative liberties, right? We're all about creativity in art. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna zoom in. Okay. Alright, so maybe this guy's the one to start with, because it would be in the furthest back layer. Yelling. How many L's was that? Okay. Yelling line. I'll call any line art the line. Okay, and now let's zoom in. So the other art that I've done, oh wow, it looks shit up close. Okay. The other art I've done was a post for Reddit for the Kayla and Muna collab for Hololive again. And then another one was for Sana's birthday. So the only Hololive member who I have a membership for is Sana. Oh wait, usually people do like transparent. opacity. Right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so Sana's the only one I have a membership for, because I feel like just naturally I want to support her the most. Yeah, because she's extremely entertaining. You can always, well, okay, before her back problems, you could count on her starting a stream, and you could even go to sleep and you'd wake up and she'd still be streaming. Freaking crazy. And what game for it? For what game would she stay up or stay setting for that long? Oh, come on. Quite the inspiration. Play till you break your back. Huh. I don't know how that's going to turn out when I zoom out. Let's just see. Yeah, there's probably a lot less. Oh, crud. Did I freeze Photoshop? Yep. I froze Photoshop. No, I didn't. I'm just dumb. I actually did freeze Photoshop. Well, that's great. Okay, I'll reopen this. What happened? I might have broken something. And now my screen is dark. Perfect. Nice. Okay, well, I think my stream is just broken. Yeah, I guess that's it for today then. Just I'll keep working on the line art next time. And time to restart my computer. Bye.